Hello guys and gals, me Muta. Belle Delphine uploads a photo set and a video of her getting to the diddle forest of Diddle on 9 or something, whatever you want to call it. I don't really know how to best describe it, but basically Belle Delphine has entrenched herself in yet more controversy, and she's hit trending to the point where nobody can ignore it, okay? My dead great-great-grandmother couldn't ignore it. She actually contacted me through Crystal Ball and told me, bro, there's some weird cringe being posted, and I checked it out, and there was in fact weird cringe being posted. Now, this video really is being made, not just because of Belle Delphine, but because of the overall, situation with the internet right now this entire week, and the moderation that's been going on. If you haven't known, accounts are being banned, and whether you agree with it or not agree with it, it's the biggest ban waves that I have seen across not just one social media platform, but every social media platform. It's to the point where the data center, like the people who host the entire website, are now getting involved to ban an entire service at this point. So it is definitely a wild time indeed, and I'm sure the next several weeks are going to take a while sorting themselves out. But Belle Delphine, oh boy. Now, I don't really follow Belle Delphine on Twitter or anything like that, simply because I don't really follow a lot of this, a lot of these sort of 18 plus accounts, mostly because I don't want to be scrolling through the timelines. I don't want to be scrolling through the internet and just have an accidental, butt shot blasted at me. I've seen enough Trisha Paytas buttholes on Twitter to really scar me for the next generation or two. But Belle Delphine is a weird creator because she's been banned, a couple times on multiple platforms. The latest big one was YouTube, where YouTube basically took her down and basically let things like Cardi B's WAP song play for fucking generations to come. They turned that into a piece of history and completely Thanos snapped Belle Delphine out of the platform. But Belle uploads a set of photos yesterday, right, where basically she's getting diddled in a forest, right? It's definitely, if we're gonna get into it, it's trigger warning material. If you can't handle force stuff or things like that, or weird abusive relationship, things like that, you understand what I'm trying to say? She's getting diddled in a forest by some dude with a ski mask on. Okay, that's pretty much the best way to put it without totally flaring off a lot of people on the internet. Okay, that's probably the best way to put it. Now she posts that, and immediately I notice it. I see it because of the mutuals, and in the comment sections below, there's two camps of people. Okay, there's always two camps of people on the internet. There's one who are like, oh God, queen, let this be normalized for years to come, which is weird to me. And then there's the other group of people who are like, wow, Belle, post a trigger warning because this really flared me up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I understand the case for trigger warnings when it comes to this stuff. As somebody that's made several hours of content for this kind of really degenerate material, where we in many ways have stopped actual terrible child abusers from going onto the platform, in fact exposing them for what they really are and helping police out in trying to arrest them. This is a situation which speaks near and dear to me, right? When I see stuff like this, I find it weird. Now, whoa, even though that I disagree with a lot of things doesn't mean that I want them removed. Ladies and gentlemen, my view on kinks are, hey, listen, if you don't hurt anybody in the process, then it's all fine and dandy to me. We don't have to agree on everything in the world, but hey, if it's what gets you off and you don't harm a soul, then by God, you're Muta approved and you should be approved by everyone. Now, if we're going to look at what Belle did, okay, which is posting really blatantly weird material online, all right, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're this offended by it, I really hope to God you never click on an adult website in your entire life. Because what Belle Delphine posted, in terms of being abducted into a forest and diddled, is beyond a shadow of a doubt one of the most popular categories on most adult websites do. After this, it's literally cucking, and it's literally just that. That's all it comes down to. What Belle uploaded is really no different than people who upload fucking teacher-student stuff. Anything with that kind of a weird adult-kid dynamic to it. Adult videos have always been stress testing the heck out of that department, right? And they finally hit that weird niche spot where it's not illegal, but it's now exploded in popularity. So Belle Delphine, who by the way is one of the biggest adult stars on the platform, if you don't believe me, to understand economically how wild that is, okay, there are people out there who would pay $10,000, okay? $10,000 is a lot of money. That's a nice computer, that's a nice car, that's several months rent down the road. People would pay $10,000 at once to have Belle Delphine just spit on them. Just spit on them. We're not even talking about a little booger in the no, just saliva spit on them for $10,000. That's, if anybody knows how to, like, fucking strum along the simp brigade, it's Belle Delphine, and that's pretty much how it wins. But to be real with you, I think it's fair to realize that there's multiple bits of nuance in this entire situation, right? Like, I feel like this is what pisses me off about the internet the most. It's like, either you have to completely fucking support someone, or you have to completely fucking, like, disavow and disregard anybody. There's just no in between. Now, when I saw these photos posted, I was like, yeah, this is a little fucking weird. It definitely is really weird. It definitely, like, sends me off to a weird tangent. And I'm not one of those people to be, like, easily fucking, flustered on the internet, but it's just like one of those things where immediately upon seeing it, I didn't like laugh, I didn't giggle, I was like, that's just fucking weird. I mean, immediately a light bulb swung on into my head, and I was like, this isn't right, this isn't okay. But that's just, that's just having like a bit of fucking nuance to the situation. Now, the problem is, you've got a lot of people online who are like, fucking cancel culture, like elite special forces, and this is why I hate the Twitter cancel culture community. Motherfuckers think Twitter is like fucking Death Note, okay? Just because you write somebody's name into your cancel culture fucking K-pop group doesn't mean that person disappears from existence. In fact, if anything, it bolsters the fuck out of them and gives them a lot more popularity than they initially fucking had. She's on #1 trending, okay? Yeah, you're really fucking canceled there, Einstein. Congratulations. But looking into all of Belle Delphine's like scenario, I think it's safe to say what she posted was really fucking weird. She went out later kind of apologizing, non-apologizing about this whole situation, like, yeah, I'm sorry that you fucking got offended, dumbass. All right, this is what adult content really is all about. If you follow me, you should have fucking expected this. Which, to be fair, Belle Delphine, absolutely 100% agreed. But maybe it might have been a little, I don't know. I think when you're on a safe for work platform like Twitter, mostly, and you post stuff like this that immediately, like makes people go, what the fuck? Maybe at some point you kind of realized what you were doing to cause controversy. I'm just going to put it out like it is, okay? Belle Delphine is a smart fucking advertiser. She knew very fucking well what she was getting into. But I have to kind of agree with her to a scenario too, right? Like, if you are on the internet and you are following Belle Delphine, at this point by now, several months, that all she does is pretty much hardcore adult stuff. And, for somebody like Belle Delphine, who, let's be fucking real here, and some of these images, she's almost dressed up like fucking Celeste, like inverted Celeste from Danganronpa. It's just kind of weird, but I guess that's just what it is. It's just how it comes down to. Should Belle Delphine be fucking banned from the internet? No, you goddamn babies. Not really. Not at all. If anything, Belle Delphine, you should probably look at this whole situation and say, if in your head it sounds fucking weird, if it looks creepy, if it looks weird to you, which it does to me, then you should probably just keep scrolling and call it a fucking day, because that's really what it comes down to. I think when I look at banning, I'm kind of really shit scared, because when you look at people who do adult content on most safe for work social media platforms, it's really scary because there's no rules or consistencies really applied to just people who do adult material. Like, if you're on Instagram, for instance, and you post a picture of your fucking chocolate starfish, if you're not somebody who makes adult videos for a living, Instagram will probably look at you and say, not that big of a deal, whatever, cool story, bro, awesome. But if you're somebody that makes like adult content for a living and you post a picture of your chocolate starfish, same whole affair and everything, months down the road, Instagram will ban you for like violation of their community guidelines. Fucking weird in my opinion. There's no consistency to it, and Twitter is almost the same. Twitter at times feels like they're almost welcoming of people showing their buttholes online, and at the same time they're also completely against it. So to me, when I look at content like this, it pushes the line so much that maybe it won't really affect Belle Delphine because she's at the top of the game, she's at the prime. But what it does is ultimately kind of put the moderation into high gear against that entire genre of people. And I think that's where you get into kind of an issue, right? Like, there's people who have like 3,000 followers, they have like a very new upstart organization for their adult content, and now you've got somebody like Belle Delphine putting the fucking flashlights and like the 6-star wanted rating on your entire fucking profession. I think that's maybe, if I had to look at it, the only real bit of controversy in the entire situation. But yeah, at the end of the day, look, if you're following somebody that makes adult content for a fucking living, and they make something a little too adult for you, maybe it's time that you just unfollow them, you mute them, and you call it a day. And I understand the people who get really fucking like, things flare up, because there are people who have went through this situation situation in reality, right? Like, when you look at this kind of forced scenario, right, that Belle Delphine is sort of like, you know, romanticizing to the people on her OnlyFans, I understand that wholeheartedly to the people that, like, you know, scroll up their timeline and they come across this kind of shit. That I understand completely, wholeheartedly. When you looked at things like Trafficking Hub, yeah, that was something that caused a lot of issues, all right? There was a lot of edits to that video that I made alone where I tried to make it so that that kind of flare-up wouldn't occur onto people who have actually suffered through these kind of criminal acts in their reality. But as far as coming to banning this content creator, I don't really agree with it. That being said, it's just a fucking weird thing to post. And that just comes from a personal perspective. Of course, people are different in every regard, but I just find it fucking weird. I just find it fucking odd. I don't understand why the internet is all or nothing in this scenario. Just say it's fucking weird and call it a day. It is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Muta, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it. If you dislike it, I am out.